Hi y'all, this is Daisycakes, and I just am coming from my normal position on my bed to ask y'all to be careful because sometimes these people use me to sort of advertise their side businesses, which I don't want any part of, and which I have said I don't want in here. Because there used to be a guy living on this floor that was a coyote that was related to somebody from New Braunfels, and he used to send up the worst people, to go through my things and steal my clothes, my makeup, to steal food from me, and then run out while I was in here. Very dangerous. And I made it clear I did not want in English and Spanish, because I do speak Spanish, that I want them out of my apartment. That if they knocked and asked for food, I would give them food. If they knocked and asked for clothes, I would try to find them some clothes. But I don't have any. I usually eat cereal. I don't really have the ability to go ahead and give them the things they're asking for. You should also know that this woman from New Braunfels, this doctor person, has been after me for years because my ex-husband preferred me over her in 1987. So she convinced herself that that was just a green card marriage and that it didn't matter, and that she could go ahead and infringe on my rights as a wife and a mother to try to control our relationship. So she would send people to ruin our dates. She accused me of spousal abuse numerous times, child abuse numerous times, and I have been investigated by CPS and they found nothing at all. Not one thing. She has asked my children to do things that are illegal for her. She has blackmailed my ex-husband into trying to, I don't even know how to explain it to you. Secrets that I'm sure that he told her in confidence that meant a lot to him at the time, that she then turned around and used against him to try to keep him in a relationship with her, because she felt like if he could stay in a relationship with her, then he would come to love her more than me, which he never did until we broke up again the next time, the second 2012. And as far as I know, since then, I've had nothing to do with him whatsoever because we're broken up. It's not because I don't like him. I do respect him. I still find him very attractive. I think he's a very good father. I just don't want anything more to do with him personally. But she has never stopped hounding me. She makes people sign agreements, NDAs. She makes people do these Hellenic pinky promises that are just so childish. And she does all of these things to try to force people into being. She wasn't able. See, my kids are hyper successful. And I hate to brag, but I mean, I was a hyper successful child. My parents were hyper successful people. My kids are hyper successful people. And she's never stopped going after them either to try to change the course of their lives. And they do like and respect her to a certain extent. And I don't worry about what they think about anyone. They're entitled to think whatever they want. If they consider her to be a surrogate mother or their best friend, that's up to them. I would never say that they don't have the right to do that. However, I wanted clear that I personally consider her dangerous and unstable, and I don't want her anywhere around me. She's snuck up behind me numerous times here. She's contacted employers. She's sent emissaries of doom. She's done all of these things because, just like the people I told you about before with the sexual abuse allegations, and she probably had something to do with that as well. One time she sent drugs to my kids to try to get them to sell for her, and when that didn't work, she bragged to me about the number of parents that came down from my high school to have her be their doctor. And I don't know if those two things are connected, but they gave me a really bad feeling, and I told her I didn't want anything more to do with her whatsoever. And that's the last time I talked to her, and that was in 2014. Now, her children both have special needs. They're both fairly affected with different conditions, and they've had challenges that my kids didn't have. You have to remember, I went through hell when I was little, even though you all probably think I was pretty privileged. My brothers and sisters weren't healthy, and they put me through hell, and I like to think the fact that my kids turned out well is sort of God's way of saying that he's sorry, which is nice. But they don't talk to me today, and I don't worry about that because I made a point of trying to get them through college. Like I said, that my ex-husband said that one way I could help them, the only way I could help them, was to earn minimum wage while they were in college so that they could get FAFSA aid. And while they were doing that, they were nice to me. And then when that was over, they quietly exited, faded out, I guess you'd say, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that because I raised good citizens that are responsible contributors that are capable of running the country one day if they want to. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm not responsible for how her kids turned out or their lives turned out or anything to do with that, or anyone's kids for that matter. I watched like 12 babies in when they were 3 months old to 1 year old, and they all have done so well and could be watching this right now. So, hey guys, y'all were cute when you were little. And that's great. It's all great news. However, even convicts and people like that can turn out to be good people. I'm not saying that there's not good, bad people out there, right? It would be wrong to pretend like all people are good. That is a dangerous message, and we should stop sending it. But it's okay to say that all people have potential to change and be better people. Anyway, I just wanted to specify that this woman has been very dangerous to me, and I hope that she's not being dangerous to y'all and trying to get you over to her way of thinking. Remember, when I first started teaching, there were people there that didn't want to work with a black or half black woman. I was one of the very first 1/4 black people hired to teach full-time core curriculum in the district, and I was very proud of that. And they didn't like it. So they set up a ruse for me to get accused of something horrible, which I had absolutely nothing to do with. And luckily, one of the kids that they used in their ruse turned out to be an undercover cop, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful to him and his existence, because my life would have been very different otherwise. And these people are horrible people for doing something like that. And this woman is no different. She may have even had something to do with that. I don't know. But the point is that these three groups of people, former neighbors, state hospital people, who else? Oh, former